So again, we will solve systems of linear equations with the calculator. I mean, I guess the title pretty much says it all, right? That's our objective. So I'm going to teach you how to do it, okay? Calculator right here. Now, this is going to be one of those sheets that I definitely recommend holding on to because I think it would make a really good resource. Like, you know, those notes that you look at and you're like, oh, how do I do that on a calculator? It's going to have all the steps. I included pictures and everything for you. So please take advantage of that. So the very first thing that you have to do is make sure that every single equation is in slope-intercept form. And we're going to be working with two equations. We're going to be working with this one, y equals 1/2 x minus 2. That one's already in slope-intercept form, right? But I have this other equation that's not. So we need to move x, and we're going to move x with the 0 pair, right? So what do I need to do? How do I create the 0 pair? Am I adding or am I subtracting? Because this one has no sign, so we assume it is positive. So we're going to subtract the 2x, right? And then we're going to subtract the 2x. Problem is, these are not like terms, right? So you end up with negative 4y, negative 2x, and then this doesn't have a sign, so it's going to be positive 8. Yes? Easy enough? All we did is we moved the x term over. All right, last step. Divide by the coefficient of y. So the coefficient of y is just a really fancy way of saying divide by the number in front of y, right? Which is negative 4, and then negative 4, and negative 4. Now this is always going to cancel out to become 1. So we got 1y, right? These I can put in my calculator. Alpha y equals 1. And I can put in negative 2 down, negative 4 to the right, and enter. And I get 1/2, positive 1/2 x, right? And then over here, I got 8 divided by negative 4. So I can try that again. Alpha y equals 1. Oh, you know what it is? Go ahead and tell me. He says it's negative 2. Let's see. I think he sounds correct. And negative 2, yes? So yay, we've got this equation right here, okay, which is actually that. And then we're going to be working with another equation right there. So let's go ahead. And it says the next step is to press y equals. Okay, so we're going to be putting in both of these equations right here, okay? So we have one equation, y equals 1/2 x minus 2. And we have another equation, y equals 2x plus 4. So I'm going to go to y equals. And I'm going to clear that out. Sorry, guys. And I'm going to type it in, okay? So alpha y equals 1. I don't need to type in the y because it's already there. And then I just say 1 down 2 to the right. We use this button right next to the alpha button. That's our x. And then minus 2. Then we go down, and then we have 2x plus 4. Any questions so far, guys? Pretty straightforward?
Yes,
Yeah. Awesome. Okay, so if you have any questions, like you can always put it in the chat or just blurt it out. That's fine, okay? All right, now that we have that, we're going to go to this step, right? This step says to press this button. Got it, the graph button. So I'm going to go right here, and I'm going to press graph. Now, I can see the graph intersection. That's perfect. But let's say that I couldn't. What you would want to do is you would want to hit zoom. And I personally think zoom 0 is a really good option. You can actually just hit 0, but just to show you what it looks like, this zoom fit, that 0, that's a really nice way just to make sure, boom, it should settle it. If not, you can always play around with zoom in or out, depending on the situation, yes? But I like zoom fit. So I'm going to put 0, and there it is, right? It just kind of makes it fit. All right. Now, this right here, that's the intersection, right? That's where the solution lives. We want to know, where does the solution live? The solution lives where the lines touch. So we can see it. We're going to go on to the next step. And it says push all these buttons. Okay, got it. press. Once you do it, after a while, it becomes second nature. Second, trace, 5 for intersect, enter, enter, enter. Okay, let me do that again, okay? So second trace pulls you up to this, and it's like, oh, intersection, that's what I want, 5. And then it says first curve. It's just identifying the different curves. So you hit enter. The second curve, yes. Do I want to guess? No, I don't want to guess. And there is my intersection. So notice how it says -4, -4, right? So my solution is -4, -4. Easy enough? All right, awesome. Okay, so let's see. I'm going to go ahead. Let's practice moving x over and dividing by y. Do you need to see it again, or you want to kind of try a little bit on your own? Let's have you try just a little bit. I'll do one example here, and then you do the second one. So I'm going to do the first one. I'm going to do 2x plus 3y equals 23. And then I'm going to move my x with the 0 pair, right? Additive inverse, minus 2x. I got 3y equals negative 2x plus 23. Let me know if I'm going too fast. What am I going to divide by?
3.
Good job. 3. I'm going to divide everything by 3. Okay. And then y equals, I can get out of here, and I can put in alpha y equals 1 and put in negative 2 down 3. Okay. And then enter. Still didn't change much. That's okay. And then I can try this one, see if that one will reduce. 23 over 3. And no, it doesn't. So you know what? Leave it the way it is. Doesn't matter. Okay? All right. So if you're watching the video right now, now's a good time to pause. I want you to do the same thing with this one right here. Okay. Go ahead and let's do this. So when we move this, this is just going to be, go ahead and do it like this. So minus 4x. These are not like terms, right? That zeroes out. And we have 2y is equal to negative 4x. And we bring down this positive 34 right to the side. And then we just divide. Okay. And we're going to divide by the coefficient. And, you can just put these in the calculator like I showed you. But you end up with negative 2x plus 17. And there you go. Okay. So now let's go ahead and let's put it in our calculator. All right, here we go, guys. So we're going to go ahead. The first step was to hit y equals, right? I'm going to clear all that stuff out. I just hit clear. And then I'm going to go ahead and type in the first one. That's negative. And then alpha y equals 1, 2, down 3, to the right, x. Let me know if I'm going too fast. Plus, let's put in alpha y equals again.
Yes, you got it. X.
Oh, no, yes, I'm going to go take that out. Hold on 1 second. So let me go back right here. I'm going to put my mouse right over the 9, and I'm going to hit delete. That will get rid of 1 unit. Yes? Okay, good. Maybe I did it on purpose. You never know, right? All right, here we go. And so the next one, notice how it's got the y already. So I just type in negative 2x, negative because it's up front, right? Plus 17. And then we're going to graph it. Can I see the intersection? Yes. Okay. So as long as I can see it, I'm good. Now we're going to go ahead and hit second, trace, 5 for intersect. And we're going to enter 3 times. 1, 2, and 3. Ladies and gentlemen, our intersection is 7.
Can you go back in your
1 second, ma'am. What was your question again?
Can you go back and repeat the steps?
Yeah.
Like trace or something.
Let's do it. Okay, so are you good with like how to enter the equations?
Yes.
Okay, So then you have to graph it, right? You just hit graph. So that step is right here, graph, right? And can I see the intersection?
Yes.
Yes. And then I'm going to go down here and I'm going to press all these buttons, right? So that's
Right.
second, trace, 5 for intersection, because that's what I want, 5. And then I'm going to hit enter 3 times, 1, 2, and 3. And there is my answer. Is it super easy to make a mistake using this method? Yeah,
Yes.
but you know what? I mean, if it's multiple choice and your answer's there, it's probably right. Or you could always double check it by plugging in these numbers into either equation and making sure that it works. All right, any questions?
Miss,
Feel okay?
Miss, what is the normal uh, zoom like in, when you zoom in and zoom out? What is the normal?
Oh, the normal zooming technique. Okay, yes. So when you zoom like this, you hit zoom. And then if I want to zoom in, that means I want to see it closer. Then I would hit 2. And then to let you know, you have to hit enter. And now it's like, oh, really big, right?
Mm-hmm.
Or if I want to if I want to zoom in even more, I just hit enter again and it'll zoom in even closer. Yes.
Okay.
Or to zoom out, I hit zoom 3. Very important you hit enter because a lot of people are like, I hit zoom 3 and it didn't work. No, zoom 3, enter. That will let me zoom out. You hit enter again, it lets you zoom out a little more. Enter again, and it'll let you zoom out a whole lot. Okay?
Okay, thank you.
You're very welcome. Those are great questions, y'all. Okay, so let's go ahead and let's look at the next one. Did you have a question, Shinwei? Okay, so let's look at example 1B. And we want to go ahead and look at this. It says determine the best, don't worry about that. We just want to solve the system, okay? So this one is good, but I need to get this one into slope intercept form, yes? All right, so I'm gonna go ahead and pause and let y'all get a little opportunity to practice that. Go ahead and put it in the chat when you get it, okay? Okay, so when we move this, of course, we're going to do the 0 pair, right? Because that will 0 out. And I'm going to do it on this side right here. Right? We got our little thing like that, right? So we have negative y equals negative 5x plus 8. And what you're going to do is now we're going to divide by the coefficient of y, which is negative 1. So we divide by negative 1, we divide by negative 1, and we divide by negative 1. And we end up with y is equal to, and I'm going to put this in my calculator. Let me second mode to quit, get out of there. Alpha y equals 1. That's negative 5 over negative 1. That's positive 5x. And then this one, alpha y equals 1, 8 down, negative 1 to the right, and enter, and you have negative 8. See how that works?
I was so confused. I was like, what should I do with the negative y? So,
Oh, well, does it make sense if you think of it like negative 1?
mm-hmm.
Yeah, and then you just divide by that and you can put it in your calculator and get your answers, right? So yay, we've got this one right here and we have this one. Okay, and so go ahead, pause the video, see if you can get it, and then we'll come back together. All right, so what we're gonna do is gonna go to y equals, clear all this stuff out. I'm gonna type it in, 3x minus 24 down 5x minus 8. Then I go to graph. I can see the intersection. So I hit second, trace, 5 for intersect, and then hit 3. I hit enter 3 times. And I end up with negative 8 and negative 48. Is that what y'all got?
No, I got 0 and 4.
Ah, okay. Well, do your equations look like this? Okay. That would be kind of the first thing.
Yeah, it looked the same.
Okay, guys, so that's basically how you do it on the calculator. I do want to show you two special cases. So let's just kind of scroll down to 5 and 6 really quick. And I'm going to go in here and just, let's go ahead real quick. We're going to move the X. If you want some practice on moving the X and dividing by the coefficient of Y, you might want to pause and see if you did it right. But basically, we're going to subtract 10 from both sides, 10X rather. You got negative 2Y equals negative 10X plus 24. And then you divide by negative 2, divide by negative 2, and divide by negative 2. And when you put this in your calculator, you end up with positive 5X minus 12, okay? So you have this equation, you have this equation. So we're going to go ahead and there we go to Y equals. Let me get to my normal screen. Y equals clear, clear. And does anybody notice kind of anything off the bat already that's unique about these equations? Okay. Maybe the fact that they're the same. And so when you hit graph, and let me just go to Zoom standard, your standard screen, Zoom 6, okay? We only see one line, right? It's because the two lines are on top of each other. Maybe you didn't pick up on that. And when you hit second trace 5, intersect, inner, 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 you get a solution, right? But it's one solution. It's not all of the solutions. So here's a situation where you do have to be smarter than the calculator, right? So the note that I would make on this one is when the two equations are the same line, okay, the calculator will lie to you, but you need to know that the solution is, y'all remember what the solution is? It is infinite solutions, okay? And the other special case is, so this is like when you have that same, you can see that the equations are the same, right? So here, I'm going to go ahead and, you know, we have X kind of in the wrong place. So I'm going to have to move my X. I'm going to have to do another step here too. So I'm going to have to move the X over. And that's 0 equals 2Y minus X plus 4. It's a lot of stuff. That Y needs to be on the other side, right? So I'm going to subtract 2Y and subtract 2Y. That will 0 out. Now I got my 2Y over here, my negative 1X right here, plus 4. And I'm going to divide. I'm going to divide by negative 2, negative 2, and negative 2. And we end up with Y is equal to, and I put this in the calculator, I get 1/2 X. When I put this in the calculator, I get negative 2. So this is one equation, right? I'm going to do the other one over here. 2X minus 4Y equals 8. We subtract 2X from both sides. It's getting to be repetitive, yes? So we end up with negative 4Y equal to negative 2X plus 8. And we're going to divide by negative 4 and divide by negative 4 and divide by negative 4. And I end up with Y equals, again, when we put this in our calculator, we kind of did this one already, 1 over 2X. And this ends up being minus 2. Okay? Oh, that's not the way I had planned it. What I wanted to show you was if you have parallel lines. Now, these happen to be the same lines. So you know what we're going to do? I'm going to use this one as my second one, okay? Plus 2 and minus 2, okay, guys? So we go to Y equals, and I'm going to type it in. Alpha Y equals 1. I'm going to type right over this. I'm going to put 1 over 2 And I'm going to go to the right, hit delete. And I'm going to put minus 2 so I won't delete the 1. I'm going to do it again. Alpha y equals 1. Put 1 down 2. Okay, to the right, delete. And I'm going to make this one plus 2. Okay, and delete. And then a graph. So obviously we have parallel lines, right? And you might even want to zoom out just to make sure, are they really parallel? Because sometimes they might be slightly tilted, but they are really parallel. So we know no touching, that means no what? No solution, right? So no touch, no solution. But let's see what our calculator tells us. So I'm going to go to trace. Actually, I'm sorry, no, it's second trace, right? Second trace, 5. And I'm going to hit enter, and enter, and enter 3 times. And when you see this error that says no sign change, quit, that basically means no solution. Okay? So keep that in mind. The calculator will give you an error when there is no solution, right? So there's going to be an error, no sign change, when it's no solution. And then here, it didn't give you an error, it just lied, right? So the calculator, I'm just going to put the calculator just lied, right? So in this case, you got to be really cautious and gave only one solution. So you do have to be smarter than the calculator when it comes to infinite solutions. Okay? Any questions on this? Okay, so I do have some additional problems. If you want to practice them, I would encourage that. And then you just unpause and I'll have all the answers there for you, okay? All right, so those of you watching the video, thank you so much. Have a beautiful day. All right,
Okay.
so right now let's do a couple practice problems. This would be a good time if you're watching this video to pause it and then come back when you have your answer and you want to verify it, okay? So the first one, let's go ahead. We're going to move x. So that's minus 2x, minus 2x. And you end up with negative 2x plus 13 dividing by 5. And when you put in the calculator, you get negative 2/5 x plus 13 over 5. That actually doesn't reduce. So that's 1. Okay, the second one looks like this, where you have 3x minus 5y equals 7. You're going to move the x. Zeros out. Negative 5y equals negative 3x plus 7. Dividing by negative 5. Again, these are all that you can put in the calculator. You can put all these coefficients in there. Turns out really none of them simplify except for this one. But you get positive 3 over 5x minus 7 over 5. So I'm just going to pop them in my calculator. Okay, so I put them in my calculator like so, and then I'm just going to graph it. I can't see my intersection, so I'm going to go ahead and zoom out. Enter. And now I can see it. So I hit second, trace, 5, and I hit enter 3 times. And there's my solution. 4, 1, right there. 4, 1. Okay. I'm going to go on to the next one. 1 second. You can pause it. Number 3, this one is already good, so I can put that in my calculator. This one I'm going to go ahead and move the x. This will zero out, and I get negative y, that is a y, equals negative 5x plus 8. Now keep in mind that the coefficient of y there is negative 1. So I'm going to divide by -1 for all of them. And I get y is equal to 5x minus 8. Why does this familiar? It feels familiar, yeah? All right, so now I've got this equation right here, and I have this equation right here. I'm going to go to my calculator, and I'm just going to clear what's in there and type it in. 3x minus 24. I'm going to put the other one here, 5x minus 8. Graph it. I can't see the intersection, so I'm going to hit zoom fit. Zoom 0, and now I can. That's why I like zoom 0, because it just automatically does it. And then I'm going to hit second, trace, 5, enter, enter, enter. And I get an answer of, gosh, I hope that's, I'm pretty sure, that's -8 and -48 if my eyeballs are working right. Yes, yes, you agree? Good. All right, awesome. Go ahead and pause. You can work on number 4 or number 1. So here we are, number 1. I'm going to go in here and let's go ahead, both of them, right? So this one, I'm going to go ahead and move the x, zeros out, -5y equals -3x minus 4, divide by -5, divide by -5, and dividing by -5. When you put this in your calculator, you end up with positive 3/5 x and positive 4/5. Let me go to the right. Shahida, is that what you got for yours? I'm going to assume yes. And then we're going to move x, just like we did here. So it gets to be really repetitive after a while, right? You do the same thing, right? But that's good. Bye, y'all. And you're dividing by 3, divide by 3, divide by 3. And so you end up with -5/3 x plus, and you know what? That doesn't even simplify. It just leave it like that. And I'm going to go to my calculator and type it in. So as you can see, I entered the equations, and now I'm going to go to my graph. I can see the intersection. I know it's not a beautiful graph, but I can see the intersection. And so I hit second, trace, 5, and enter 3 times. And I have a solution of 2, 2. Okay. And if you want to check number 4, come to Zoom time and ask me, and I will be happy to confirm whether you got it right or wrong. You have a beautiful day, guys. I got to go. All right. Shahida, did you get it right?